Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Python classes, and I'm welcome you all. This is going to be a very interesting session because today we are going to discuss data science libraries for Python. So before we start any discussion, let's wait for couple of more people to join in, and then we will start our discussion. And uh, apart from that, if anybody has any doubt or queries, please feel free to add it in the live chat, and we always look forward to getting some feedback or queries from you. And I will keep looking at the chat from time to time, and if we have and somebody from our team will respond in the live chat itself, or I will reply to your query in in between the breaks. And I hope you have all revised the previous lessons and that we have discussed till now. And so because there's going to be a bit of overlap, like the concept that we learned in all the previous sessions, some of those concepts we are going to see being used today as well. So I hope you're all ready for that. And before we start our session, let me just introduce myself. I am Archie Garg. I have around close to 7.5 years of experience in the IT domain as a developer, and in Python data science and analytics, I have got more than 5+ years of experience, and I've worked with various clients in telecom and finance domain. I worked with product-based companies as well, and we at Infinite Data Academy like always want more and more people to upskill themselves in this data science field, because this is going to be like the hottest jobs in the for this century. And I'll just start with the session today. Firstly, I will just quickly revise the content that we covered yesterday, and then we are going to start with today's content. And as I can see, we are 2 minutes over, so I think we can start this. And let me know if you have any doubts or any queries in the live chat, and I will respond to your queries from time to time. I'll start share my screen now. All right, I hope you can all see my screen now. Firstly, this is we are going to just quickly revise yesterday's topic. कल हमने we covered the OOPS concept uh, in the Python. So OOPS are basically they are programming principle, programming paradigm that are not specific to a programming language. They are like followed in multiple programming languages in Java and all the other languages that are object oriented. And being like Python being a programming language, it we can also apply these concepts in creating applications via Python. Yeah, right. So we covered these concepts. So basically, OOPS mein there are four main concepts. That is, so inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. And in that, before we discuss these concept, हमने क्लास कैसे क्रिएट करते हैं वो डिस्कस किया था, उसका सिंटैक्स, एंड देन हाउ वी use objects to store data, retrieve data. And also Python specific, there are some keywords that you should know related to class, that is self, attributes क्या होते हैं, and also constructor क्या होता है, init method क्या होता है. All this concept that we discussed in detail. In case आपको अभी भी no you need to refresh your memory, please I would request you कि आप previous session go through कीजिए. And still if you want to uh, if you still have some doubts and queries, I encourage everyone to get in touch with us. We on LinkedIn and Instagram, we are active on all social media channels. And uh, and we will love to hear from you, any feedback or anything that you want to share with us. Right. So yesterday we discussed these four basic principles of the OOPS programming language. So this that firstly was the inheritance. So inheritance was just like we see in humans and basically every animal or plant. किंगडम स्पीशीज की एक पेरेंट से एक चाइल्ड जो है, दे इनहेरिटिंग सर्टेन प्रॉपर्टीज, लेट्स से दे आर इनहेरिटिंग योर हाउस, your or they are inheriting certain facial features or certain habits that a child basically inherits from a parent. So that is the main logic behind inheritance कि कोई भी आपने एक base class create करी, so base class से the child class they inherit certain features, properties, attributes, and then we saw its example, like we created a animal class, base class, and then we created a its derived class, that is dog. So using this super keyword, it was accessing the attribute of the base class, and it was also inheriting all the methods and properties of this animal base class. And then we saw the example of polymorphism. So polymorphism में क्या होता है, like the one polymorphism का basic English translation क्या होता है, like the many forms, right? So basically it means that one method or uh, whatever method that we are declaring in a class, it can have many forms based on the types of attribute, type of parameters we pass, or based on the its uh, its लोकेशन, लाइक अगर हमने बेस क्लास में उसको डिक्लेयर किया है और उसको डिराइव्ड क्लास में डिक्लेयर किया, सो बेस्ड ऑन इट्स लोकेशन ऑल्सो वी कैन ओवरराइड अ मेथड, एंड basically single method hai, it can have multiple forms. And since Python is a dynamically interpreted language, so we get to know at the runtime कि कौन सा इनमें से कौन सा मेथड विल बी कॉल्ड, एंड each method will have its own priority कि firstly the derived class method will be given priority. अगर derived class में वो method exist नहीं करता, then it's going to go to the base class and call that particular method, right? And then we looked at the encapsulation. So encapsulation was the wrapping data and methods all within one unit. So class is like example of this only. So class में क्या होता है, we declare a class जिसमें हमारे attributes and methods होते हैं, and जब भी हम class का कोई object create करते हैं, so within that object we have our data that is wrapped for those particular attributes and methods, राइट? सो क्लास इटसेल्फ इज अ ब्लूप्रिंट, उसके अंदर कोई डेटा नहीं होता है, उसके अंदर एट्रीब्यूट्स एंड मेथड्स होते हैं. वेयर इज द एक्चुअल डेटा लोकेटेड, जब भी हम उसका कोई ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करते हैं, एंड उस ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू वी कैन ऐड डेटा, and that data will be like wrapped within one unit that is our object, और object की memory में all these method and all these methods and variables will be stored in our backend, right? And then encapsulation में we just discussed that there is a way we can have private attributes, like Python में by default जितने भी हम variable create करते हैं they are public by default. लेकिन if you want to make a attribute private, जिसको जो हम नहीं चाहते that user जो object create किया है उसके through उसको modify कर पाए, like directly access कर पाए, so we can create a private attribute by adding 2 underscore in front of that name. And then as per our need we can have a modify it as per our need, like set करके setter create करके method, or if you want to get this you can do get it by using some getter method. And we saw this example that जो अंडरस्कोर एज है उसको हम डायरेक्टली क्लास के ऑब्जेक्ट से गेट नहीं कर सकते, सो इट विल ऑलवेज थ्रो एन एरर. you can only use जो भी क्लास के मेथड हमने डिफाइन किए हैं, like get age, to get that particular variable. And lastly we discuss the abstraction. And abstraction क्या होता है, like it means that we need to focus on the essential details, like हमें नहीं जानना है that laptop में if you are pressing some key then how is it getting converted to 0 1, और on the backend पे क्या हो रहा है. Like I only need to know that if I'm pressing A on the keyboard, then जो हमारी word है और जो भी मैंने screen या browser खोला हुआ है then उसके ऊपर A type हो रहा है, like so that is the main essential detail I need to know. So abstraction follows that principle कि user को they only need to know the essential details, जो उसके पीछे का जो implementation है that we need to keep it hidden, and we do not need to expose that complexity to the user itself. So Python में to create an abstract class you can import this ABC class from this ABC module, because we cannot implement it directly. And कोई भी abstract method create करने के लिए you can add this decorator at the rate abstract method उस class के अंदर जो भी method है. एंड इफ देन उसके बाद इसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन आपको बेस क्लास में करनी होगी. इफ यू डू नॉट इम्प्लीमेंट एनी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट मेथड इन द बेस इन द ड्राइव्ड क्लास, देन यू आर ऑलवेज गोइंग टू सी एन एरर, जो हमने कल रन करके देखा था. लाइक इफ आई डिलीट दिस कैलकुलेट एरिया फ्रॉम हियर, इट्स गोइंग टू थ्रो यू एन एरर जब भी आप इसका ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करेंगे. Right, so that was a quick revision. Let me come to the today's content. So today we are going to we had a quick revision, then we are going to discuss the Python libraries for data science. And basically हम three libraries पे focus करेंगे in today's class. That is the NumPy library, Matplotlib, and Pandas library. And before that, let me just quickly look at the chat. If anybody has any doubt, please feel free to add it in the chat, and else we can get started. All right, let's start with the session now. So Python libraries for data science. So you all know कि data science के लिए Python is one of the most popular language. So what is the main reason behind this is Python, as you know, it's open source library, it's open source language. But also apart from that, all the many of the data science related modules, वो चाहे data visualization के लिए हो, वो modeling के लिए हो, or simply data manipulation के लिए हो, they there are a lot of these modules available in Python that you can download and access easily. And also because uh, they're like easy to, like it's very easy to just import them, build code over it. And so that's why Python is like one of the most popular data science language. Or all these modules that are related to data science, they have like pretty good uh, documentation, and they are like easily, they're like widely maintained. There are बहुत सारे contributors है, developers है जो maintain करते हैं ये libraries, and then they keep on updating, adding new features to these libraries. So that is why like Python is becoming more and more popular in for the data science. So today we are going to discuss three of these libraries. Basically NumPy. So NumPy is short form numerical Python. So this NumPy library, it is like used for computations a lot. Like it, you can have array like representation using the NumPy module. एंड एरे क्या होते हैं, पाइथन में हमने लिस्ट डिस्कस किया एंड द ट्यूपल्स डिस्कस किया. एंड इन केस ऑफ लिस्ट एंड ट्यूपल्स क्या था, लाइक वी कैन हैव मल्टीपल टाइप्स ऑफ डेटा टाइप्स इन अ सिंगल लिस्ट. लाइक हम एक लिस्ट में स्ट्रिंग भी स्टोर कर रहे हैं, और नो टेक्स्ट वैल्यू स्टोर कर रहे हैं, और वी आर स्टोरिंग न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू इन अ सिंगल लिस्ट. बट इन केस ऑफ लेट्स से C++ एंड जावा, एरे होता है, एंड एरे में वी कैन ओनली स्टोर वन टाइप ऑफ वैल्यू. बेसिकली अगर स्ट्रिंग, उस एरे के अंदर एक स्ट्रिंग हमने स्टोर किया, यू कैन ओनली ऐड स्ट्रिंग टू दैट एरे. और इफ यू हैव न्यूमेरिकल एरे, सो उसमें आप सिर्फ एक न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू, इंटीजर वैल्यू और फ्लोट वैल्यू स्टोर कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज लाइक, so that is the array data structure. So NumPy, it provides, it's a pretty good library for doing this scientific computation. And जो भी इसका data होता है वो array like structure में represented होता है. And also because it is faster than many of the built-in Python data structures. जो like Python के data structure है, list, dictionary, उससे much faster work करता है NumPy के arrays. That is because इसकी जो implementation है, it is like very close to how a compiler works. So it takes very less time to compile and run the code, and that is why it is much faster than Python built-in data structure. Right. Then we have Matplotlib. Matplotlib is a data visualization library. जिसके like you can do different types of plotting and charting using the Matplotlib library. How was Matplotlib? So Matplotlib, it is like inspired by if you know, MATLAB एक computer software है that is used for the scientific computation, and like people who have done BTech or some BCA, they will know that about little bit about the Matplotlib computer software. So Matplotlib is inspired by that software, but people who are not aware, don't worry. It is, you can say, just a visualization library that helps us create or represent data in different visual charts and formats. And then we have Pandas library. So Pandas is like very vastly used important library. Pandas is a date. It can uh, it is very highly used data manipulation array. Even last 5 years में I think in each of my project, जितने भी project मैंने किए हैं फिर for the data analysis or data science, pandas has been used in every one of them. So that is how widely used this library is. So pandas में क्या होता है, like you can do data manipulation, you can also do bit of data visualization, although इतना ज़्यादा detail नहीं, but you can do some basic visualization in pandas. Data manipulation के लिए it is like pretty good, and it represents जो data है in the no in the structure of data frames. So pandas में if you read any data in pandas, and so that data is representing in the form of data frames. And data frames is like you can consider जैसे एक excel होता है, and then excel में row and column होते हैं. So that row and column kind of format is a data frame format. So that is just a way to structure their data in the pandas. So let me start with the NumPy examples and code, right? So NumPy, as we discussed, is numerical Python. So we already discussed these points that it has array like a representation faster than Python data structures, and also just for understanding, you can see that NumPy में ND matrix जो भी represent करते हैं, ND is n can be any number like 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D. So n, that is why it is like ND matrix representation. जो भी हम करते हैं तो 1D array को हम क्या कहते हैं? 1D array is simple like a single list like 1, 2, 3. So that is a 1D array, and so उसको हम कहते हैं vector. Then 2D array is a matrix, and 2D array में क्या होता है, like you can think of it as like a Excel में like you have the row and column. So that is a 2D array. And after that जो भी 3D, 4D, 5D array होते हैं, all that is considered a tensor. So 3D array, like it might be become difficult to show it on a computer screen, but you can imagine like a room. So that is a 3D array. So it has three dimensions with x, y, z. And like, or you can say a cuboid होता है, उसका रो, उसका height होता है, length होता है, breadth होता है. So that is a 3D kind of array. So all those array, ND array, 3D. After 1 and 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, like all the uh, n number of ND arrays are called tensor, right? So we are just going to import NumPy here. So NumPy में it's like very common to use NP as an alias, rename उसको करने का. So we are going to go with that only. Import NumPy as NP, and उसके बाद I have written down this examples of code so that it's we can like I can show more and more code to you guys, and so that we do not waste much time in writing down the code. So firstly, let's start with a very basic code कि how to create a 1D array using NumPy. So NumPy में 1D array कैसे create करता है? You have directly a function np.array NumPy के अंदर, and in that you can pass in this whatever जो भी आपको array create करने हैं उसके values, right? So always it has to be integer value or float value. So always keep that in mind. So this over here I'm just simply creating an np.array, and you can see the एक 1D array create हो गया. That looks like a list only to you, but only thing difference is you cannot have string or text value in here, right? उसके बाद let's look at some of the function. Also np.arrays same function आप use करके you can also create a 2D array. So as you can see here, I have created a 2D array over here. So array equal to np dot array. So 2D array के लिए what I have done is, जो भी ये आपका स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट है जिसमें आपको डेटा पास करना है, inside that I have like created two list. So this is a 2D array. So first list is a like first, it is going to be first row. So 1 3 5 that is going to be present in first row, and then second row में क्या होगा 2 4 6 that is going to be our second row. So column wise value कैसे होगी 1 2 then 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. It's going to be like that. So let me just run this cell first and show you the array. See, you can see, so इसमें like your row is 1 3 and 5, and then the second row is 2 4 and 6. So this is your 2D array. And इसका अगर आपको if you want to check its shape, so shape is basically आपको ये show करेगा इसमें कितने rows column और कितने number of data values है. So you can see it is 2 comma 3. 2 is basically the number of rows and 3 is the number of columns in your array, right? Baki, let's discuss some of the function to create these arrays using NumPy. एक function है that is arrange. So this arrange, it's going to create एक array, and since we are given the value as 100, so इस case में क्या करेगा? It is going to take value from 0 to 100 and create this array. So this is creating a 1D array currently, right? You can see here, so 0 से लेके before 100, that is the 99 तक उसने as a 1D array create किया. And if we run this one, second में क्या हो रहा है? We have provided it like we do not want the 100 value. So by default क्या है? Start value आपकी 0 रही यहाँ पे. So you can define your own start value. That I want to start the value of array from 3. ये आपकी -20, दिस इज द एंड वैल्यू कि आई वांट द एंड वैल्यू टू बी -20, एंड इसके बाद -1, दिस इज फॉर योर स्टेप वैल्यू. लाइक स्टार्ट वैल्यू में यू नीड टू ऐड -1 till the time it reaches end value. So you can say 3 plus -1, that is going to 2, then same 2 plus -1, it's going to be 1. So that way it is going to go. So you can see like if we specified our own start and end value, and also the step value of -1, so it created a 1D array using this. So yeah, let's move on to the next. So there are more ways to creating this array. Let's discuss this all. Just run all of these as example for you. And firstly is the linspace. So linspace में क्या होता है? इसमें भी I have defined this start and end value, that is 0 and 1, and इसके बाद this 6 is the value, like 0 and 1 के बीच में I want 6 values in my array, right? So 0 1 के अंदर if I run this, you will see, yes, you can see कि हमारी जो array है वो that is starting from 0 and ending at 1, but the total number of values are 6. So if I make it 7, so there's going to be 7 values in this array. And you can see जो भी ये जो division हुआ है, that is like kind, you can do yourself, like 1 by 7, 2 by 7, that are the, those are the values over here. So this is for linspace. जब हम अभी Matplotlib में when we do the plotting, so you can we will also use some of the NumPy arrays to do this plotting. So it will be a bit more. No, you can see more example of NumPy arrays in that case as well. So next one we have is np.ones. So basically ये क्या करता है? ये it will make it will have every value as 1, and इसके अंदर we just need to define आपको कितना बड़ा array चाहिए. So you can define 3 by 2, 3 by 2 आपने किया, so it's going to create 3 rows and 2 columns. You can say like you can see आपके पास you have row 1 2 3 and the column number of columns are 2 over here. सेम np.ones की तरह देयर इज np.zeros. सो इसमें क्या होता है? ऑल द वैल्यूज विल बी 0 by default. Yeah, let's, you can see So मैं इसको actually quickly go through कर रही हूँ because these are like very easy to understand. But if you still have any doubt, please put it in the chat. After completing all these example, I'll come and look at the chat and answer any queries you have regarding this. But for now, I'm going to quickly cover each of these functions. So np.I है, this is used for creating a identity matrix. So in our 11th and 12th class, if you remember, maths में हमने पढ़ा था about the matrix computations. So उसमें there was this identity matrix. So identity matrix क्या होता है उसमें, it is for a square matrix, and square matrix में क्या होता है, all the diagonal element, as you can see इसमें, like इसमें this one is a diagonal element, this one is a diagonal element, and this is the diagonal element. So all the diagonal element from left to right, they are they have the value 1. उसके अलावा बाकी सबकी वैल्यू 0 होती है. So if I run this, like you can see इसमें जो diagonal elements है, like you can see this one left to right जो ऐसा diagonal बन रहा है, those values are 1 and all the other values will be 0. So let me just show you for 4 as well. So it is always a square matrix. Square matrix as in square matrix होता है जो जिसके number of rows and number of columns always equal होते हैं. So 3 rows and 3 column, or 4 rows and 4 column, 5 rows 5 columns. So number of rows and number of columns are always equal in square matrix. And उसी के अंदर we create a identity matrix. That's why इसमें जो input है that is only one, एक single numerical input है इसमें. So you can see this 4 by 4 में इसमें again the all the diagonal elements are 1. And this is another interesting one. इसमें क्या है, this is different than identity matrix in the case, जैसे इसमें हमने 4 वैल्यू पास करी. So ये 4 values, this will be set as the diagonal elements. So let's say आपके अभी जो presently हम ये देख रहे हैं array, so this इसमें 1 1 1 1 present है. Instead of 1 1 1, it is going to be 1 2 3 4. So these जो भी हम इसमें input provide कर रहे हैं array में, so that is going to be values of the diagonal elements. So let's see, you can see it is 1 2 3 4, and let's say I make it -1 and make it -4, और मैंने इसको एक और ऐड कर दिया and that is 27. So as you can see जो भी मैंने वैल्यू प्रोवाइड करी, those values are going to the diagonal values, and उसके अलावा बाकी सारी values क्या है, 0 है. So this was about creating arrays. And another way of creating array is this np.random.rand. So this is very highly used function NumPy का. So इसमें क्या होता है, let me quickly run through this example as well. So इसमें क्या होता है, it is going to get any random value from इसमें मैंने 4 प्रोवाइड किया. So इसमें मैंने input 4 प्रोवाइड किया. So it's going to get any 4 random values and उसका एक like array create कर देगा. So as you can see, it took any 4 random values and उसके create किया array. So by default क्या होता है, it always takes the value between 0 and 1. But if you want, you can define your own value as well. Let me show you the second example. इसमें 1 and 20 है. So it's going to create a 2D array. So 2D array में क्या हुआ, this is a 1 row and number of columns are 20. If it is not much visible, you can create a other 2D array. So इसमें we are going to have, you can see यहाँ पे हमने 2 rows लिए है and the number of columns are 5 over here. So all these values are exist within the 2 and 5. So if you want to explore more this, I suggest you try these functions yourself. And also you can also search how you can have values that are not between 0 and 1. You can use a multiply function, multiply, or other inputs. But I can ask you as a homework, you can try these methods yourself and see how you can create a matrix जिसमें value 0 से 1 के बीच में नहीं है. It is like some other value basically. Okay. and lastly we have np.random.randint. so इसमें और इसमें basic difference क्या है, like अभी तक we are taking the float values between 0 and 1, and what does randint does is randint क्या करता है, it always takes the integer value. so इसमें if you see this, if I run this, so you can see, so इसमें क्या हुआ, 1 and 20 के बीच में I got two random values. so इसमें by chance इसमें दोनों 16 and 16 लिया. if I run it again, you can see इसमें this time it took some other value, that is 6 and 2. so every time you run this, and every time you run this, it's always going to have some different value because it's going to be random. That's the main logic or purpose of it, right? So let's move to the next part, that is the indexing and slicing. So for indexing and slicing, you can see जैसे हमने list में discuss किया था कि इसमें index is based again 0 index होता है, and same way we access the elements of the for the array. So array हमने let's see this. So हमने ये array create किया था arr. Let me just print this here so that we know what we have, the array, what type of array we have. So I'm printing this. So you can see हमारे पास array है. This is 2 rows and 3 columns, and these are the value from 1 to 6. So इसमें let's say I want to change some value of this array. So इसमें I can get this value as, let's say I want to change 1 and 1, and इसमें मैंने value डालनी है 10. उसके बाद let me do the print of array. So you can see इसमें 1 and 1 value uh, that has been changed to 10. So indexing is basically same, 0 index follow होता है. So this value जो आपकी first value, that is always 0 0, and हमने क्यों, and then this is 1 comma 0, that is first row but 0th column, and then this value is 0 comma 1, that is 0th row जो सबसे पहली वाली रो है, and then comma 1 is the column number, that is 1 column, and this one is the 1 comma 1, that is 1 is the row number and 1 is the column number. So हमने ये value modify की थी, and this value has been modified in this array, right? And other than that, अगर आपको कोई mathematical operation करने हैं in arrays पे, you can do the scalar operations directly. Let me just show you over here. Like print array, let's say मैंने print array plus 4 किया, or let me just do plus 10. So it will do all this operation element wise. जो array के अंदर जितने भी element है उन सब में 10 की value plus हो जाएगी. If you want to do कि specific column or specific row पे plus हो जाए, then you can use this indexing to modify those values. But if you want कि particular like सब array में जितने भी values है सब पे वो values modify हो जाए, you can directly do array plus 10. Same way आपको multiply करना है, minus करना है, you can do the scalar operation directly on all the elements of the array, right? Array 2, let me just create another array, and that is plus 10. So ये मैंने एक array 2 किया, क्यों create किया, to show you the matrix multiplication example, right? So अगर हमें दो array को multiply करना है, so that multiplication happens, it does not happen element by element. Matrix multiplication का there is a specific way to multiply two matrices, and this is usually discussed in uh, 11th and 12th mathematics. But if you are not sure how this multiplication is done, then no, uh, it is like it won't be possible to explain it here, but I will ask you to look it up online and how this matrix multiplication is done. And I'm just going to show you how the outputs over here, like, so you can see इसमें जो हमने multiply किया है, the row wise element are multiplied with column wise and then added over here, but it will be like difficult to explain over here currently if you're not familiar with it, but I'm just going to show you how to do this multiplication. So you can do directly multiplication, or you can use dot function as well, like array dot. Wait, okay, sorry. So अभी इसमें क्यों नहीं रख किया? Okay, because the row and column element, they have to be same. So let me just create array 2 and p dot array. I can do, let's say, 10 comma 20. No, 30 comma 40 and 50 comma 60. So this is our array 2. इसको हम डॉट मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हैं with this, राइट. इसको अगर हम डॉट नोटेशन से मल्टीप्लाई करें देन इट विल मल्टीप्लाई विद array 2. Yep. You can see the output. Output will be number of rows of array 1 and the number of columns of array 2. So array 1 में we had 2 rows and array 2 में we had 2 columns. So this is going to be the output. So let me just show you some logical operations also. I think we are going to overrun a little, but I want to cover maximum possible content for these libraries because they're very important if you are interested to pursue a career in data science, right? So let me just show you some logical operations. So logical operations हमने पहले discuss किए थे. So we can apply these logical operations in the NumPy arrays as well. So I have created two uh, arrays over here. You can see np.array, that is a and b, and you can apply these logical operation. Let me just quickly run through this. So logical or हम कर सकते हैं a and b पे, and you can see output उसका. So see, the first value is, that is 1 1, that is going to return true. Then the second and third are going to return true as well, and last value is going to be false. So that is in line with the logical OR operations that we discussed. Same way, if you go to logical AND operations, you can see the first value, दोनों जब value 1 and 1 है, उस case में it's going to be true, and बाकी सब case में it's going to be false. And and let me go to the next np.all. So np.all function क्या होता है? What does all function do? All function क्या है? जो भी आपका array है उसमें ये check करेगा if all the values are true or not. So in this case we can see only दो value जो है, first two values they are true, and जो second and third value है they are false. So इस case में the np and all np.all का output it's going to be false, right? But if we see this np.any, so in इस case में क्या होगा? The first np.any में क्या होगा? Like if any of the value जो भी आपका array है उसमें अगर एक single value भी true होगी तो फिर उसका output जो है true रहेगा आपका. So as you can see इसमें दो values true हैं, the 0th and second value. So the output is going to be true over here. Then I've just discussed some important functions over here. That is, this is to like एक np.arrange function से just created an array x, and उसके ऊपर I'm just getting this sign value, log value, and exponential value of those. अभी ये सारा print नहीं करेगा. Let me just print one by one. You can see इसमें 1 0 1 2 3 4 is the array, and then we have the sign value of each of these values. And same way you can see the cosine value as well. I'm just going to print the log value, उसकी log value, and the exponential value. And then there are some stats function that we have different stat function also available in our NumPy module. So let's say I do x to mean. So x is this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So uska mean value kya hai? That is 2. And if I see the median value of that is also 2, since 2 kya hai? Middle mein hai. And let's say standard deviation. STD is for standard deviation. So standard deviation is 1.414. So I'll just quickly look at the chat. किसी को कोई doubt है, or if anybody had any question, and then we'll continue with the Matplotlib. All right, let's continue with the Matplotlib. So as we discussed before, ये एक data visualization library है, and इसके अंदर there is another module, that is pyplot, that we use mostly for our plotting libraries. So इसके अंदर जो मैटप्लॉटलिब के अंदर py plot है उसको I've given the name PLT. So again, this is like very common practice to rename it as PLT. So we are following that only over here. So firstly, let's see the example of a line plot. Line plot में क्या किया है? I've just PLT में there is a function plot जिसके अंदर you can provide your values कि कौन सी values plot करनी है. So you can provide x, y values, and or you can provide 1D arrays list also, or you can provide directly. So मैंने इसमें like I've just provided a simple array 1, 2, 3, 4, and then PLT में there are other two functions, that is x label and y label. So x label is like if you see a Cartesian plane में जो उसमें क्या होता है, like the x label is the x axis and y label is the your y axis. So these are the labels for that. And this plt dot show, ये this is basically used जो भी आपने plotting की है to show to see the output of your all your plotting data. So if I do plt dot show over here, you can see जो मेरा plot यहाँ पे हुआ. This is a very basic line plot. You can further modify it. उसमें आप color डाल सकते हैं, उसमें आप you can add grid lines over here. You can change the x and y axis types over here. So you can do multiple things over here. This is very basic line plot. You can create different bar plot as well, or other types of plot, right? So this is your output. You can see a simple plot where 1, 2, 3, 4 values has been plotted. And next example that I have taken is, this is a bit different, as in इसमें instead of single line I am plotting three values over here, three lines over here. So for this again we have used mp arrange function है, and that we have used 0 से 5 के बीच में इसमें value है, and we have taken the spacing of 0.2, right? So इसमें what uh, we have done is t को like plot में हमने x plot किया है. X is going to be whatever, जो भी t की value होगी, that is going to be plotted on x side, and y axis में क्या होगा, उसकी exponential value. So जो हमने first input जो provide किया, that is x की value, x axis की value. जो second input जो provide किया है, that is the y axis value. So second value is going to be t power t power 2, that is t में जितनी भी 5 values है, let's say इसमें 1 है, 2 है, 3 है, so उसकी power 2, that is going to be the value of y axis. एंड सेकेंड लाइन के केस में इसकी पावर होगी 2.2, एंड सेम वे थर्ड के केस में पावर इज बी विल बी 2.5. एंड एज यू कैन सी हियर, आप लेबल उसका डायरेक्टली प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं लाइन का ओवर हियर. सो आई जस्ट प्रोवाइडेड जो भी उसका लेवल है, पावर 2, 2.2, 2.5, राइट. एंड दिस थिंग ओवर हियर इज दी, आपको उसको लाइन को बेसिकली उसको लाइन को डिफ्रेंशिएट करने के लिए दिस बी माइनस माइनस इज दिस बी इज द ब्लू, एंड डैश डैश इज मेरे को डॉटेड लाइन चाहिए इन द चार्ट. एंड दिस आर एस ओवर हेयर इज आर इज फॉर रेड, एंड एस पी उसको एस इज फॉर स्क्वायर. सो जो मुझे जो प्लॉटिंग चाहिए, दैट शुड बी रेड इन कलर, एंड इट शुड हैव दिस शेप ऑफ स्क्वायर. And then just this g and this power sign over here is for g is for green color, and the sign is for I want to show it in like squares, not squares, sorry, triangles, राइट. सो अगर आपको ये जस्ट गो थ्रू करना है, आई एनकरेज यू टू गो टू मैटप्लॉटलिब की जो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है, ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. यू कैन फाइंड ऑल दीज डिटेल्स ओवर देयर. एंड देयर आर लाइक गोइंग टू बी न्यूमरस वेज आप एक प्लॉटिंग कर सकते हैं. दिस इज जस्ट टू शो यू एन एग्जाम्पल एंड कि आप उसको कैसे डिफ्रेंशिएट कर सकते हैं. And let me run this, and as you can see output, we have a blue dotted line, then red squares, and the uh, green triangles over here. And all of these have different label यहाँ पे show नहीं कर रहा है, but you can add option to show the legend of the plot right side पे, top left side पे over here. So this is the plot for multiple lines. एंड देन लास्टली इसमें एक और डिस्कस करना है मुझे अबाउट द फिगर्स एंड सब प्लॉट. सो लेट्स से यू वांट टू हैव मल्टीपल प्लॉट्स इन अ सिंगल फिगर. सो लाइक आपने एक चार्ट बनाया है एंड आपने एक फिगर बनाया, उस फिगर के अंदर यू वांट टू सी मल्टीपल सब प्लॉट्स. आपको एक साइन, कोसाइन वैल्यू, लॉग वैल्यू ऑफ एक पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन की देखनी है और एक पर्टिकुलर लिस्ट की देखनी है. सो यू कैन यूज दी फिगर्स एंड सब प्लॉट ओवर हेयर. सो लेट्स सी. सो इसमें इस केस में वी हैव क्रिएटेड टू एरर्स t1 and t2 using the same function np dot arrange. And then we have just mentioned ki to this plt that we are going to have a figure one. And figure के अंदर we I'm defining the subplot first. So subplot is what? Subplot is basically I'm going to have two rows, and two rows में two, so I'm going to have two rows and one column, right? And अभी I'm defining the first, जो भी फर्स्ट वाली जो भी प्लॉट है दैट आई एम डिफाइनिंग, दैट इज द सब प्लॉट. और इस प्लॉट को कैसे प्लॉट किया है? सो इसमें एक्स वैल्यू में तो वी हैव टेकन द t1 एज इट इज, एंड दी वाई एक्सिस वैल्यू में टेकन दी साइन वैल्यू. सो एनपी के अंदर ही वी सो देयर इज एनपी डॉट साइन, उसकी साइन वैल्यू वी हैव जस्ट टेकन t2 मल्टीप्लाई 2. एंड अगेन उसको रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए दिस इज द ब्लू कलर एंड सिंगल डैश इज द लाइक सिंगल लाइन, राइट, विदाउट द डॉटेड डैश. सेम वे सेकेंड सब प्लॉट उसमें ऐड करने के लिए दिस इज 2 1 2. सो बेसिकली टू रोज है, वन कॉलम है, उसके अंदर जो सेकेंड वाली वैल्यू है दैट इज द 2 1 2. एंड इसमें वी हैव टेकन द कोसाइन वैल्यू ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर लिस्ट वैल्यूज, राइट. इसमें एज यू कैन सी जस्ट फॉर डिफरेंशिएशन टेकन द multiplied with the mp.py. It's your choice, you can keep it you can multiply it by np.py or not, totally up to you. And इसमें we are having the red dotted lines. So if I do plt.show over here, you can see the output. So first is your cosine chart, and first is your sine chart, and second is your cosine chart. All right. And if you are interested to learn more, you can connect with our team, and also you can see the different libraries that are there for data visualization. Matplotlib is one library. There are other libraries is like that are very good. They have very good visualizations like ggplot. There is a pyplot and Seaborn. Usme, like if you can see, they are like very high grade, very good looking visualization. This visualization for example purpose are very basic, but nowadays you can have 3D charts and very good colors and optimization and everything in your charts and for data visualization purpose, right? So before we move to the pandas library, let's take quick 1 minute break, and if anybody has any doubt, please let me know in the chat section, and then we can start with the pandas library. Okay, looks like everybody is clear, or nobody is clear on anything. But let's move on to the pandas library now. सो पांडास एज आई, जैसे मैंने पहले बताया था, ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट लाइब्रेरी है, एंड ये डे टू डे बेसिस पे almost every data analyst, data scientist use this library for data manipulation purposes. And why is that? Because it's like very easy to code in this library, and it is very highly maintained. Where you have very so many features in this library, and for data manipulation purpose, and it is uh, you can easily read data, save data from this library, and it supports multiple formats now. Like initially when it started, it used to have some limited format, but now it is starting supporting multiple formats. You can read multiple formats data, save data in multiple format type, and so it's like very useful library. And in my last 5 years, I have used this library in almost every project that I have worked on, right? So again, you if you want to import pandas module, you can do import pandas. Again, pd is very common alias for this library, is like very commonly used, so I've used this same over here. But if you do not want, you can skip adding any alias over here. But in that case, आपको कोई भी इसका function call करना है, so you will have to do pandas.readcsv instead of pd.readcsv. So yeah, just to make your code shorter, so we use this alias. So as you can see यहाँ पे in this let me run this part. So इसमें I've just listed all the files that are available to me. That is अभी आप this is collab environment. So collab environment में we have certain sample data files available. So if you are if you are doing some data science course as well, so you will see there. So ये जो amnist data है and the California housing data, these are like very common data sets used in Python as a introductory cases. कोई भी data science case introduce आपको करना है, so these data sets are very commonly used. Just like कोई भी programming language में हम hello world करते हैं, तो same way there are 2 3 data sets जो every data science course no, uses to introduce you to certain concepts, or introduce you uh, to data manipulation or uh, data visualization cases. So इसमें I am just reading this. So pandas में if you want to read a CSV file, so this is a function over there, that is read underscore CSV. उसमें you have to just pass the CSV value. And if you look at the documentation for this, इसमें there are like ample of methods for this. Like अगर आपके पास header नहीं है, so you can provide like comma header equal to none. In case आपके CSV में index भी नहीं है, or if you index है, so you can provide the index column as well. So there's lot of many useful arguments जो आप इसमें pass कर सकते हैं, right? And for our case, we are just reading this CSV as it is. And just to get, let's look at some of the basic function. जो read CSV के बाद this data is going to be stored in the data frame format, and then you can see इसमें क्या क्या data है. Just to get a bit idea of data कि किस टाइप का data available है आपके पास, and what exactly what manipulations you can do on this data. And in Python you can read Excel file as well. उसके लिए method है, there is read underscore Excel. And there you can read Parquet files as well, Feather files as well. So yeah, you can read multiple formats file. CSV is like most commonly used format in most of the cases, but because and it is like very because like there are many files that you can store in CSV, and उसमें कुछ data limitation like size limitation नहीं होता. Like in Excel you have the number of rows, like 10 लाख से ज़्यादा rows नहीं हो सकती आपके Excel में. But in CSV there's no such case. You can have as many number of millions of rows in your CSV file. So yeah, and so that's why like, yeah, people store data in CSV a lot, right? So let me just walk you through some of the basic function is data for a data frame. Firstly, this is a shape function. So shape function जैसे numpy में था, shape function is going to tell you कि इसमें कितने number of rows and columns हैं. So if I run this print shape, So you can see इस केस में we have 17,000 rows, like 17,000 houses का data है हमारे पास, and then you have 9 columns in this. And let's say I this then we have this head function क्या करता है, आपको सिर्फ टॉप की 5 rows जो है वो आपको शो करता है, right? So you can see these are the top 5 rows of your data. Let's say आपको top 10 rows देखने, so you can do this also. You can add in the number of rows that you can see directly, and उसमें आपको value उतनी rows आपको show करेगा. As you can see, this is your data, and this is the head. This is the what I'm using the head function. So this basically just to get you a bit idea about the data, ये head function use करते हैं. Let's say आपको top की values नहीं देखनी, then there is another function that is sample. उससे क्या होगा, it is going to randomly pick any 5 rows in from your data. As you can see here, इसमें randomly 5 row उठा लिया, that is row number 2813, 3000, 15,000. So this is the row number जो आपने left side में देख रहे हैं, and so it has picked random 5 rows over here. So sample is also useful to see because कभी कभार होता है head में all the data is there and everything looks very nice and rosy type, but sample से you can see, let's say इसमें कोई none value है और कोई भी data anomaly है, so sometimes it's helpful to see data using sample as well. And then there is this function to get the all the column names of the data frame. You can just do dot columns and you can see these are the columns. इसमें latitude and longitude है, then you have median age of the house, income of the people, and then the population, household, and the house value. All this these are the headers or column names in our data. एंड दिस इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, दैट इज़ datadf.info. ये बेसिकली क्या करेगा, आपके जो भी डेटा है उसमें नंबर ऑफ डेटा वैल्यूज आपको शो बताएगा, उसका डेटा टाइप क्या है, इट इज़ गोइंग टू शो यू दैट. सो यू कैन सी हेयर कि हमारे पास 17,000 एंट्रीज हैं, 9 कॉलम्स हैं. फॉर ईच ऑफ द कॉलम इसने आपको बता दिया है कि कितनी वैल्यूज नॉन नल है. सो इस केस में दिस इज लाइक वेरी क्लीन डेटा सेट कि इसमें कोई एक भी नल वैल्यू नहीं है. बट लेट्स से अगर लेट्स से किसी इसमें 2 null values होती total bedrooms, then this number would have been something like 16,998. So this info is useful to know कि अगर आपके में कोई null value है और आपको उस data को check करना है कि why is there null values coming, so you can use this function. Or if you want to ignore the null values, so drop the null value. So for that one you need to know कि किस particular columns में null value present है हमारे data में, right? And इसमें d type को भी आपको मिलेगा, since all this data is float value, so that is it's going to t type as float 64. So अगर इसमें भी कोई भी string value होती है, it would have told you that this is a string data type or integer data type respectively. And then we have another useful function is that is datadf.describe. So describe क्या करता है, it gives you various stats related to the all the columns जो भी आपके data में है. So as you can see here, we have these 9 columns. So हर column में it has given you this count क्या है आपके उस value का, then the mean value, then the standard deviation mean, then this 25% and this 50-75% are the percentile. So this 25 percentile value is minus 1 to 1 for longitude, and same the 50th percentile value and 75th percentile value is given as this minus 188,118. And you can see the total number of bedrooms. So minimum value is the 1, maximum value is 6,445, maybe for some hotel or some sort of palace. And the percentile value, you can see the 25 percentile value, that is 25% of people have uh, you know less than 200 97 number of bedrooms. And you can see the median income same way, since ये सारी हमारे पास float values थी, so we could get this all this data. अगर let's say इसमें कोई भी string value होती और कोई भी string data होता, तो उस केस में ये सब stats value उसके नहीं आते, उस केस में it would have been just shown null 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 in that case. So कोई भी आपकी data में अगर numerical value है, so उस केस में describe function it is going to show you all the stats related to that column, right? And we have few more things to cover in here. So let's say I want to see specific columns of a data frame. So उस केस में आप क्या कर सकते हैं, you can do square brackets, and square brackets के अंदर you can pass a list of columns that you want to see. So इसमें मैंने क्या किया, I just want to see these three column from this data, and let me just do this. So it's going to show me this. Let's say आपको इसमें से सिर्फ top 5 values head values देखनी है, you can do this. You can apply head over it also. Then there is another function that is tail क्या करता है, it's going to show you the bottom 5 values. Same way you can apply this also. And as you can see here, this seems to be like a collab function. Like Jupyter Notebook is getting very advanced nowadays, so it is giving you, option to suggest chart. So this data visualization also you can do directly in this Jupyter collab environment. And it's not necessary आपके local पे जो Jupyter Notebook है उसमें ये suggestion आए, but this seems to be feature of Google Colab, and it will be pretty nice. It works, right? And then some small data frame operations that right, like uh, you can group by your data frame, and group by के अंदर you can provide one or the multiple number of you know values. So let's say इसमें जैसे I just provided you total bedroom, but इसमें bracket, we can provide a list as well. List में you can provide multiple number of this. Let's say मैंने इसमें एक और value provide कर दी, total bedrooms as well as total rooms. And उसके बाद मैंने I can also do some sort of aggregation function over it. Like I can do sum over it, I can do max over it. So इसके ऊपर aggregation function भी हम कर सकते हैं in this group by. So how do you get the value of group by? So group by में मैंने क्या किया, I did this get group 5. So 5 is the total number of bedroom, like जिसके show me the rows जिसमें total number of bedrooms है 5, right? So that is the group value because मैंने total bedroom से उसको group by किया था. So you can get that group value, and you can see these are the rows जिसमें total number of bedrooms 5 है. This is the median income, annual income. तो इनको आप chart comparison भी कर सकते हैं. Like I want to see the comparison of median income of people who have total bedroom 3 versus 4 versus 5. So those type of charting you can do to see the difference between the data. And also group by के ऊपर you can also do the describe function. So as you can see here, इसमें instead of index it has been indexed at total bedroom. So 1 से लेके 6445 तक. So there are 1800 unique total bedroom values, or that from 1 to 6445. और इसका हर एक कॉलम का you can see all the stats. So this can become quite difficult to read for you, but you can use these stats to do plotting using same pandas library or some pyplot or ggplot library to see the difference or do your comparison analysis. Also I want I can like another thing I want to discuss is the merge. Like if you're familiar with SQL और कैसे टेबल को हम दो टेबल को merge करते हैं using the join, same way दो data frame को भी we can join these two data frames based on their some common column. And let's say मेरे पास student data है, and I have student data like student data is split in two tables. So उसको मुझे ज्वाइन करना है, like एक टेबल में I have the roll number and the name, and दूसरे टेबल में I have the roll number and the total marks. So I want to see the name against the total marks. So you can no, merge table 1 table 2, and उसमें कॉमन हमारा कॉलम वैल्यू क्या है, रोल नंबर. सो इसमें रोल, सो कॉलम 1 में you have the no student roll number and name, then we have roll number and the marks. So इसको मर्ज करने के लिए on में on will be your roll number, जो भी आपका roll number है that is the common value जो to merge these two tables. And how is basically आप बता सकते हैं, this is optional totally. So how is you can do इनर जॉइन. इनर जॉइन मतलब जब भी रोल नंबर आपके दोनों के मैच करे स्टूडेंट के, तभी वो वैल्यूज जॉइन होए. लेट्स से अगर कोई रोल नंबर नो फर्स्ट टेबल में एग्जिस्ट करता है, सेकंड में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है, देन आई डू नॉट वांट टू सी इट इन आउटपुट. बट लेट्स से आई डू दिस आउटर. आउटर के केस में क्या होगा, लेट्स से फर्स्ट में कोई रोल नंबर है और नेम है, लेकिन सेकंड में उसके मार्क्स नहीं है. सो इन दैट केस जो आपकी मर्ज टेबल है, तो वो उसमें आउटपुट में दैट रोल नंबर विल बी शो. बट उसमें कैसे शो होगा वो, इसका रोल नंबर होगा, देन इट्स द नेम, एंड देन मार्क्स की जगह इट इज गोइंग टू बी ब्लैंक, राइट. सो do try this at your home, so to get more in practice how to merge this data. Same way आप data no दो data frame concat भी कर सकते हैं, that is vertically without any उनके बीच में कोई common element नहीं है, you just want to no append two data frames together. So उनको concat कर सकते हैं आप, आप उनको vertically ऐसे concat कर सकते हैं, और you can do horizontally append भी कर सकते हैं, right. And one of the last important part that I want to discuss related to data frame is the indexing part. Data frame mein, if you want to get some column, some row, then you can use this lock and iLock indexing. So column हमने देखा कैसे get कर सकते हैं. You can use this bracket to get the particular column, right? And bracket के अंदर, bracket से पहले भी if you want to get some specific rows, so you can same use brackets, same use bracket, and bracket में you can use this lock and iLock functions. So lock में क्या होता है, so lock will get the value based on the row numbers, actual row का index जो होता है उसके basis पे, जबकि iLock की जो वैल्यू होती है वो बेसिकली एक सीक्वेंस बेसिस में आपकी वैल्यू गेट कर सकती है. सो लेट्स से आपका, सो दिस वाज आवर डेटा फ्रेम, और इसमें दिस वाज द इंडेक्स वैल्यूज. सो अगर आपको इस इंडेक्स से ये वाली रो गेट करनी है, लेट्स से दिस रो यू वांट टू गेट यूजिंग द इंडेक्स, सो यू कैन यूज लॉक. सो ये इंडेक्स एक्चुअली यहाँ पे क्या है, दिस इज अ न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू. बट लेट्स से अगर ये स्ट्रिंग वैल्यू होता, तो you could have you then also you can use lock loc to get this particular row. But in case of iLock में क्या होता है, it's just follows the sequence, the sequence of rows. Like मेरे पास 5 rows है, तो इसका इंडेक्स क्या होगा, so उसका इंडेक्स कुछ हो रहा है. लेट्स से उसका इंडेक्स, as you can see in this example, मेरे पास 5 रो है, एंड उसका इंडेक्स मैंने खुद पास किया है this, ठीक है. बट मैंने अगर iLock 0 किया, सो उस केस में इट्स गोइंग टू रिटर्न योर फर्स्ट वैल्यू. सो इट डज नॉट लुक, आपका जो भी इंडेक्स है डेटा फ्रेम में उसके ऊपर नहीं, उसके ऊपर नहीं जाता है, डायरेक्टली गिव्स यू दी फर्स्ट रोज बेस्ड अपॉन योर नंबर जो भी आपने पास किया. सो लेट्स सी, मैं इसको रन करती हूँ. फर्स्टली आई एम क्रिएटिंग दिस सिंपल डेटा फ्रेम. डेटा फ्रेम में दिस 1 2 3 4 एंड 5 आर वैल्यू, उसका इंडेक्स वैल्यू इज दिस, राइट. एंड इसमें आई एम जस्ट गेटिंग यू द, इसमें लेट्स से मैंने df डॉट लॉक किया, और उस केस में यू कैन सी वैल्यू क्या आई है. सो df डॉट लॉक 1 के केस में, so df dot log 1 will get you the first row, and sorry, the row जिसका इंडेक्स 1 है, और उसकी अगर आपको वैल्यू देखनी है, so you can further do this. Let me just do do this so that you know कि कौन सी वैल्यू हम शो कर रहे हैं, राइट. Okay, as you can see here tf.log1, उसमें 0 is to get the value की एक्चुअल वैल्यूज पे क्या लाई कर रही है. सो दिस एज यू कैन सी जब इंडेक्स 1 है, सो दिस इज द इंडेक्स 1. जब इंडेक्स 1 है तो उसकी वैल्यू 5 है हमारे पास डेटा में. एंड जब इंडेक्स 49 है तो हमारे पास डेटा में वैल्यू है, जब इंडेक्स 49 है तो हमारे पास डेटा में वैल्यू है 1. सो यू कैन सी जब इंडेक्स 49 है सो डेटा में वैल्यू 1 है. एंड लेट्स डू द सेम फॉर आई लॉग. फिर उसके बाद इट विल बी मोर क्लियर टू यू द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द लॉग एंड आई लॉग. Okay. And let's just run this. And if you see this, so you can see df.ilog0 मैंने जब किया, so it is printing 1. 1 is basically this value. So it ignores जो भी आपका इंडेक्स है उसको इग्नोर करता है, just returning you the इंडेक्स जो भी आपकी फर्स्ट वैल्यू आई है. When I did 2, so it is going to return you this third value. It is returning you this value, right? I hope this makes it a bit more clear in the log and ilog के बीच में difference, because often many people get confused in these two. And also uh, let me just show you this as well. df dot ilog, मैंने अगर df dot ilog किया 49, 49 क्या है, this is the index of 1, so it will give you an error. So let's, you can see that df.ilog 49 इसने आपको इंडेक्स एरर दे दिया, that it is out of bound. So I hope ये एग्जांपल देके this difference is clearer to you. And just as another thing, like you can also do this जो indexing and slicing हम करते हैं in case of list and in NumPy same way आप Python में भी कर Pandas में भी कर सकते हैं. See, I did a log till 46, so 46 index तक जो भी वैल्यू है आपके डेटा फ्रेम में, those values it is printing, right? And if I do df.ilog 2, so it is going to print you 0, 1, 2 पे जो भी ये consider करता है 1 and 2 उससे पहले की जो भी values है, it is going to give you those values. राइट, सो दैट इज इट folks, जो भी हमें आज कवर करना था. आई होप यू लर्न समथिंग न्यू टुडे. एंड इफ यू वांट टू keep in touch with us or learn more about us, so do I ask you to do follow the Infinidata LinkedIn and YouTube channels, and we'll keep posting more content. And on our LinkedIn we are very active. We post almost technological new technological article on the daily basis that are, and different advancement developments happening in the world of data science. So yeah, do keep in no do keep following our LinkedIn page, follow us on Instagram. And if you also want to connect with us, I ask you to visit our website and get in touch with our team. We are always happy to welcome people, learn connect with people, and learn from their experience also. See what it is that people are looking for their upskilling journey. So I'm just going to paste this website link in our chat as well as the YouTube link. And if you have any queries before we sign off for the day, let me know in the chat, or you can also reach out to us on link or on social media channels. But otherwise, I wish you all great upskilling journey, and thank you for joining for all this session. And we are going to have our last session next week. That is going to that, that in that we are going to show a simple Python case study. And uh, so you are going to see some real life project, and to see जो भी अभी तक हमने upskilling कंटेंट हमने किया था, लाइक अब जो भी लर्न किया है उसको कैसे हमने इम्प्लीमेंट किया इन सम रियल प्रोजेक्ट. एंड बिफोर दैट आई आस्क यू कि अभी तक जितने भी हमारे सेशंस आए हैं, प्लीज गो थ्रू देम एंड रिवाइज इट. एंड ऑल एंड ऑल्सो आपको उसमें एक क्विज रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म मिलेगा, सो डू fill out that form. And our team will share you a quiz at the end of next session जो कि हमारा last session है, उसमें हम quiz share करेंगे. And person with the like most number of correct answer, they will you can look forward to having surprise gift from our team. And I hope to see you all in next class, and wish you all a very good evening, and thank you for joining us today. All right. All right. Bye, everyone.